I'm back. Only had, what, almost 3 month break. It's not my fault. Anyway, the category I was working on back in March, before I took the break, I guess, I took, was My Elites, which pretty much composes of right now just two people, two female actresses slash director. Um, it happened to, well, what happened was, I was just about to film this when one of my elites died. And, I kind of think it's silly, or, I guess silly's the word, that since I don't know a celebrity personally, why would I get emotional and cry or whatever? Which I didn't really cry over the one that died, but I did get really sad. To be on my elite list, you'd think I would have seen a lot that they've been in. One of them I have. I've seen a lot of, because since I have two. One I've seen a lot, but my number one, the one that's been in my list, on my elite list, the only one for the longest time, is actually one that I really need to see more of. I need to see more of her stuff. But anyway, the one that has passed on, that is really, deep in my heart, which is, is, everyone knows her as Anna Pierce. But of course, we all, as viewers and fans, know her as Patty Duke. And she died back at the end of March 29th. So, but, sorry, shaking the camera. Cat is in my way. She wants to be a star, too. Anyway, I've always liked Patty Duke ever since I was, I don't know, high school, I guess, middle school. Sometimes I went out of my way to see some things that she's been in. Of course, the problem with Patty and her stuff is that they're TV movies, and it's not like you can get them on DVD. Some of them you can, and some of them you can't. I've seen some on YouTube, and some you just, sometimes they just show on TV, just, as a, show them on TV. And I don't have cable, so it's kind of hard for me to see some of her stuff. But I want to get better at it. After she died, I did watch, like a biography of her, and rewatched kind of like a short film that she, not really a short film, like an after school special that she did back in 1981, which her son, Sean Astin, got his first acting gig in, that she got him that job, and that was Please Don't Hit Me, Mom, which you can watch on YouTube. So, it's got Patty and Sean and Nancy McKeon. Nancy McKeon is a babysitter, and Patty Duke is accused of beating her son, which is Sean Astin, in the movie show. So that's one things I did watch after she died, again, because I've seen it before. And here she wants to make an appearance. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. This is Scully. Okay, you made your appearance, little guest appearance by my cat. Anyway, I think Patty Duke is always going to be known as winning an Oscar for playing Helen Keller in The Miracle Worker, in the 1962 Miracle Worker. I've seen so far the three that have been made. There's a 62, a 79, and I think one just like several years ago, or within the last 10 years. And Patty Duke actually happens to be in two of them. First one, of course, she won the Oscar. The second one, the 1979, she was in, but she played Annie Sullivan. Anne Bancroft played her in the 62 version, so. And then Melissa Gilbert played Helen Keller in that one. So she played both characters, two main characters in the movie. When I went up to to the Helen Keller, to Ivy Green, to the Helen Keller house, it was neat because Patty Duke has been there, and because they have pictures of her being there, so that was really neat. Anyway, Patty, she was just an incredible actress, okay? But there's also some other things that she was doing outside of being in front of the camera or on stage as she had done later in her career. But she also became an advocate of mental health, because I know one of her 3 Emmy Award wins, that her speech was just really off the wall. People were like, because I saw it on one of the biographies. I was like, yeah, she kind of acted not crazy, but just strange, odd. And so she of course she was bipolar, but she really preferred the manic depressant term, because that's pretty much what it was. It wasn't bipolar. These days everybody kind of softens what it really is, and she really preferred the manic depressant because that's what it was. So, but anyway, that's what Sean is doing now after her death. He is trying to continue the mental health for her, and which is great. I saw some interviews that he had done after she died, and he pretty much became the front man, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. The to-go guy, I guess. After her death, they talked to him about what happened, and because I had no idea she was sick. Nobody does. That's like, because someone is a celebrity, some people think it's our business to know everything about them, because they're in the public eye or had been or whatever, so it's our right to know when they're sick or why they're sick or blah 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 blah. Nope. But anyway, she won 12 awards, and I have a list here. So, she's got 2 Golden Globes and 3 Emmys and 1 Oscar and some People's Choice Award, a TV Land Award, because she was in the Patty Duke Show. She played Patty and Kathy, and Cat. She needs to be my co-star when I do this alone. Anyway, so there's 12 wins, and she was also nominated for 14 other times, which I didn't write down all 14 other nominations, but she was an accomplished actress. One TV movie that kind of stands out that I had seen, it's been a while, I do want to find it and rewatch it, and it's called The Violation of Sarah McDavid. Came out in 1981. She played a teacher who was attacked and raped by a student, after school hours. And her job after that was to try to make the teachers and the students in the school to be safer from things like that. And of course, the principal of the school was downplaying it. He didn't want things to get out, in public or whatever, and because the enrollment in that school went down, and so he was just trying to sugarcoat everything, and no, it's not as bad as it really was, and blah blah blah. But anyway, but I think she was dubbed the queen of TV movies in the 70s and 80s, because that's pretty much all she did. I mean, she did do some motion pictures, but TV was pretty much her thing. I do have her book Call Me Anna, which I started reading when I was in high school, but I didn't really make it that far, so I need to get back to reading it. And I can actually tell you, I'm on page 34. All I know is that her first managers, they were just, wow. If someone told you that you're dead, as in like I'm Nia. They said, okay, Nia's dead, and now you're someone else. They give you another name, and that's who you are. That's what they did. They said, Anna is dead, and you're now Patty Duke. They're mean. So, she didn't really take that. Her first managers were, I think, a couple, or I don't know if it was a couple or not, but I think it was. They weren't too nice to her, and so when she became of age to get the heck out of there, she did. So, and of course, things, I think, happened to her, which she didn't really talk about, and I'm not going to reveal, so you guys can look it up, but just think about it, duh. But anyway, it's just Patty Duke it was always my number one, and no one ever really topped her, at least in my book. I just thought she was great, and she was short, you know, like what, 5'3", 5'4", something around there, and Sean, you know, looks just like her, has her eyes. And I did watch an interview with both of them that probably happened, I don't know, early 2000s, late 1990s, I don't know. But it was, had them both, and they were talking about her mental health and how Sean and Mackenzie, you know, they dealt with her being in that manic, you know, stage more than their younger brother, who was adopted. But there is a third one, but he I think he got off easy because it wasn't till like she was in her 30s when she was diagnosed with bipolar or manic depressant. Anyway, so he was talking about kind of his experiences that she had, and of course they talked to Mackenzie too, and he talked about kind of what he experienced as well. So, but you could tell, especially with Sean, because they talked to Sean more than Mackenzie, and Sean, you could just tell, especially when they were together, Patty and Sean, it just, they didn't even have to say a word. All they had to do was just kind of look at each other, and you could tell that they have such deep love for each other, you know, mother and son. It was really great. You know, she did kind of break a promise that she made to Sean when he was like a itty bitty baby infant. So I'll always protect you and, you know, never hurt you and all this. Of course, she did, but she was ill, so it's not like she did it on purpose. But I love Patty, and you know, she's spent 20, 30 years living in Idaho with her husband, and that's where she's buried. So if I ever get to Idaho, I guess I'll go pay my respects. So this part of the program of this show is dedicated to Patty, even though I already made a little video, short video, in memory of her. So, but you know, I didn't make this or do this my first video since her death for her. I was actually working on this, and this was going to be actually uploaded and done before she died. And then she died, and I was like, what? I was in shock. Anyway, the next one is one I've seen a lot of. Not everything, but a lot of, and I didn't even write everything that she's, well, all the awards and everything she's done and or got and nominations, whatever. But anyway, as her, she has a stage name as well. Like Patty had Anna, or Anna had Patty, whatever. She went by either one. But this one, her real name is Alicia Christian Foster. One of those is actually, one of those three names is what she actually goes by today. It's Jodie Foster. Of course, everybody knows Jodie. She started off as a Topper Cone girl, you know. I think they still use her image on the Topper Cone products today. Little girl with the dog pulling down the diaper or underwear. So everybody at the age of 2, well, everybody that saw her butt at her age of 2, 3, whatever. So Jodie's pretty much a household name. I'm not really going to spend too much time on Jodie. I just know that I'm a really big fan of hers, and um, I think I can't even tell you what the first movie of hers I've seen. It could have been, it had been one of her Disney ones since she was a Disney kid. A lot of people start off her filmography with Napoleon and Samantha, but I think I saw her on one of like the late night talk shows, David Letterman, Jimmy Fallon, whatever, and she corrected them. She said, I did another movie before that. So, and she named it, but I forgot what it was. So, she would know more than anyone, really, her life. And like Patty Duke, I do have a book about Jodie, and I read most of it, but not all of it, so I do need to finish it. But back to maybe the first movie ever I've seen of Jodie's, I would have to say maybe Freaky Friday. If I had to pick, other than that, I would just be guessing. I don't know. All I do know is that obviously she's a household name. Everybody knows a lot that she's been in. Everybody's seen, or most people have seen Silence of the Lambs. So yes, she won an Oscar for that, and The Accused, 2 Oscars before the age of 30. So she's a talented woman and a very smart woman. Not only does she speak English fluently, but she speaks French. I've seen her in doing some French interviews and stuff, and this just like whoa. Yale graduate and everything, so she's a smart woman. I think she even won. She was on Jeopardy, and I think she won on Jeopardy. So I wouldn't get in a debate with her. She had 53 more wins, 44 other nominations. I know she has 2 Golden Globes. There's so many that she'd won. I started writing them all down. I was like, nope. There's a lot of film festival ones that she's won, and other stuff where it's not televised. But whatever. She's directed 4 TV shows and movies, and then 5, motion pictures. And she's been in 75 things. And as of I think this year, she's 53 and she'll be 54. So she's been in the show business and in acting and directing. She's been in the camera eye for over 50 years now. A couple years ago, when she was 50, right after she turned 50, she was awarded at the Golden Globes the Cecil B. DeMille Award, where she kind of came out. And then she kind of claimed she's been out for, hundreds of years, with the dinosaurs and all this other stuff. And I don't care. She was just confirming what everyone knew anyway. So, it didn't make any difference to me. Woohoo! Anyway, Summersby. It's one of my favorites of hers. I cried my hardest in that film. I gave myself a migraine because I thought it's just especially the ending of that film. It's just her performance with Richard Gere. You can just kind of tell that it was just great. That the characters they were portraying, it's just so much love and everything. It was just first time I saw it. I don't cry now when I watch it, but I did the first time. I swear, I really did. I gave myself like a migraine headache. So thank you, Jodie. And then there's Nell, which I think that movie means a lot to her, because not only was her production company made it Egg Pictures, which is no longer in business, but she back in 1999 she was being saluted by Hollywood, at the American Cinematheque at the Egyptian Theater, which I rode right next by when I went there in 2005 in Hollywood. But they were showing a clip of Nell, and she was watching it, and they had little window at the bottom of the screen showing her watch herself as Nell, and she was. I can't really explain what she was feeling watching it. I just know she was watching it, that clip, intensely, and her eyes were getting watery, and you just tell that that movie means a lot to her. And to me, she should have a third Oscar. I don't think anybody can just play Nell like she did. I have the book Nell. I don't even think I can read it because I can't speak Nell. I know in the movie, if you've seen it, she's speaking English, but it's like just mumbled because the whatever. You just have to see the movie if you haven't. But I know there's stories like Napoleon and Samantha. There's a somewhat famous story that she was mauled by the lion in the movie or while filming. But my question is on that movie is how did they get the chicken to sit on the lion without the lion wanting to eat it or something? So I was just wondering that. Anyway, I think my favorite of hers that she directed was Home for the Holidays. That was just great. Holiday film. Little Man Tate is good as well, but and she did The Beaver, and then a new one, Money Monster or something, with George Clooney and Julia Roberts. Which I need to see. There is one movie though. I don't really like animal killing in films, but this one, it's just like, why would they kill this animal? I don't know. It's Five Corners. And of course, it's got Jodie in it, and it's got Tim Robbins, and it has John Turturro. And John Turturro's character gives her, like, I know one, but maybe two, but, like, gives her a penguin. And then he kills it with a bat. Beats it. And me, I'm like, why do you want to kill a penguin? And plus, I think it takes place in New York or something, so how could a penguin actually survive in that? Anyway. I just don't like animal kills. That's me on that one. But back to Jodie. I think James Woods, back in 1999 at the American Cinematheque when they were saluting her, he came out, said his little thing before he did what he was there to do. Was probably just, which I think he introduced or set up a clip for Contact because he was in contact with her. But what he said before was he made a comment about her sons, that she won't tell anybody who the father is, and so he just said, hey, it's one of the Lakers, just jokingly, of course. And she liked that. She ate it up. I have suspicion of, I think I know who the father is, but here's the deal. I don't care. Not that I don't care, it's just, it's none of my business. None of my business, it's none of your business. Of who the father of her kids are. It really isn't. I have this magazine, or had it, People magazine, when she was pregnant with her first son, Charlie. When she was pregnant with him, she was on the cover of People magazine. I got it. I read the article. You know how in the following magazine after that, people write in for the previous magazine, so the one after Jodie, I got that one too, I think. And then that's when you have all these people write in about the Jodie Foster cover and article. Hateful things, man. I got so mad. I swear if they had addresses, I would be in prison now because I would have gone and killed them. No, not really. But I did go off on them. Looking at a magazine, reading it, screaming at them like they would hear me anyway. How dare you get pregnant out of wedlock and blah, 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 blah. Like it's any of their business who the father of her kids are. At the point, kid. But I think both sons have the same father. I have my suspicion of who the father may be, but you know what? It's her business. And as long as she tells Charlie and Kit who their dad is, then that's all that matters. I'm quite sure they may know. And if it's who I think it is, well, he's out of the picture anyway, because he's dead. But anyway, that was just my little hint there. So, Patty Duke, Jodie Foster, they're my elites. I haven't done my elite men yet, actors. I really have to deep search deep, see who they may be, because I really don't know. It may be easier than I think. But anyway, I think I said everything I need to say about those two. You know, Jodie's Jodie. You know, I'm not going to talk about what happened in the early 80s with Reagan things. She doesn't like talking about that, so why should I? I think that's about it. So thanks for joining. I meant to have this one to being the shortest video I've done, or one of, but it's actually been the longest, and I've only talked about 2 people. But anyway, thanks for joining, thanks for watching, and hopefully the next time I do a video, my other 2 comrades, or maybe the third one, will finally join us. I don't know, but this is Nia signing out, and I will be back before you know it.